Aloha! This is a brand new series that I'm starting. This is actually the first video in a three-part series on the biggest blocks to more fun and flow in your life. In this video, I'm going to share how saying yes and, not just yes, instead of no, brings you into a powerful state of opening to more opportunities, more fun, and more flow. In this video, I'm sharing how we are conditioned to say no, what it means to say yes and how to say yes to big things with confidence. So I am Kim Julen. If you don't know me, I'm a feng shui expert and psychic and the founder of the Love Your Life Initiative. It's a program which helps you stop spinning your wheels and second guessing your decisions and start taking action with clarity and confidence to truly love your life. So let's jump into this video. The concept of yes and is a rule to live by for stage improvisers. And something that you may not know about me is that I've been playing and performing improv with a local troupe, Maui Improv, get a shout out to them, for a number of years. Improv actually found me, I feel like, very synchronistic events that occurred for it to find me. And that happened within a few months of moving to Maui. And I absolutely fell in love with improv and learned that it's a really valuable and useful tool. The lessons that you learn through improv help you actually navigate your life. And so I'm really wanting to share a little bit more about this. And I'll share more about what I mean by yes and in a moment. But first, let's look at the automatic no. We are conditioned to say no. Just think about this for a minute. When someone asks if they can help you, your response is probably an automatic no. Think about when you're going into a store, for example. You go into a store to shop or to look around, and the people that work there, the employees, are always asking you, do you need any help? And we just are sort of, even if we do need help with something, oftentimes we just automatically, like, that no comes out of our mouth. It's conditioned for a number of reasons. You know, maybe you've been taught that you need to do it yourself. Maybe you've been taught throughout your life not to be a burden, right? Like, don't ask for help, figure it out on your own, all of that kind of thing. But I want to say that saying no, number one, keeps you in your comfort zone. It's a way of controlling the future. And it also has you sort of remaining attached to your own ideas and plans. It ignores the situation. So when you say no, and particularly when it's like an automatic no, like in that store example, oftentimes we don't even like acknowledge the person that's asking us if we need help, right? We don't even say, oh, hey, how are you doing? You know, anything like that. We're just like ignoring the situation. We're like, oh, nope, I don't want anyone to bother me. I've got my blinders on. I'm gonna just, like, you know, do what I came here to do, and no one's going to bug me, right? So it sort of ignores the situation. It also can put off decision making. So particularly if you've gotten the nudge to do something that's outside of your comfort zone, this can be that sort of automatic, like, no, that won't work for me. Like, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't make that happen. There's no way. Like, all those little things that come into your head might just be your resistance to something that your soul is nudging you to do, right? So it can put off decision making. And no blocks your flow. So write that one down. No blocks your flow. What I want to ask a question, and I'm going to ask that you share in the comments. What do you automatically say no to, and why? You know, so kind of thinking about, like, why is that? And that's something that you can sort of contemplate. But what is it that you automatically say no to? What would happen if you said yes, right? How would that shift things? I'd love for you to share in the comments about that. Okay. Let's jump into what it means to say yes and. As I mentioned, yes and is a vital, super important improv tool. And it's really about accepting what is and not fighting reality. So saying yes opens the door for more. It's going along with the plan. And by plan, I mean the universal plan for your life. There's been a lot of times in my life where I haven't followed the plan, and it doesn't work out so well when you don't follow that universal plan, what your soul is meant to be doing here on earth. So that's what I mean by plan. Saying yes also creates connection. So it helps others feel at ease with you. Whereas a no makes other people defensive, it can even make them argumentative. And no, saying yes doesn't mean you have to agree with what others think or say. You can find a way to acknowledge their viewpoint without saying no, right? For example, you could say, if someone shares something, oh, wow, that's an interesting way to look at it. I never thought of that before, right? So that's a yes. And then you can use the and to share your idea about that, or your opinion, right? So saying yes also builds optimism, right? It's about the more things that you welcome in, the more good stuff you're going to have coming to you. It's also a very courageous thing to do, especially if it's something outside of your comfort zone. So I know that I was thinking about this with my last retreat. One of the young gals that came on the retreat had never been in an airplane to this big a distance before. Actually, it might have even been her first time on an airplane. And she came from Wisconsin to Maui, and it was something very much out of her comfort zone. She also was traveling alone. She didn't know anyone else that was going to be on the retreat. It's a big push for her to do this thing that was outside of her comfort zone. And it was incredible for her. Like, she couldn't say enough about the amazing experience that she had and how glad she was to have done that, to have pushed herself. So saying yes can be very courageous. And it also adds something. So just to give you sort of an improv example around this, when we're on stage doing an improv scene, if someone tells me in the scene that I'm a slob, so basically they're going to sort of pimp me with being a slob, I could, in that example, say, no, I'm not a slob, because in real life I'm not, right? So there's sort of this inner war that happens when you're on stage, like, oh, I don't like that they dubbed me, they are making me out to be a slob. But what happens if you say no is it basically stalls the scene. It doesn't go anywhere. There's argument, it's just like, it's uncomfortable. It's all that. But if I say, yeah, I'm a total slob, right? I can say, yes, I'm a slob. And it's actually a beautiful gift in an improv scene, because then what do I get to play? The rest of the scene, I'm going to be a slob. I'm going to be leaving stuff all over. I'm going to be like making a mess. Like, it's an easy thing to play, right? But I can also yes and that by saying, I'm really trying to work on not being a slob. I really, I try to clean something up and I make another mess. I'm trying, like, I'm trying not to be a slob. So that can be your and, like, I'm trying not to be a slob. Or I'm only a slob. Yeah, I'm a slob, but I'm only a slob here at home. I'm not a slob in my car. I'm not a slob at work. Like, so there's different ways to say yes to something and also add to it, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to say yes. I'm going to give you 3 tips. So you may want to write these down. So how to say yes, use your voice. So verbalize the yes, actually say that word, yes. And it can even be saying it to yourself, right? Like, yes, I can do this, right? That's a powerful affirmation to say yes to yourself. So that's number 1. Second way to say yes is to use your imagination. So if there's something that you really want to be, to do, or to have in your life, create a mental picture of it, kind of close your eyes, create that mental picture of you there, of you embodying it, of you doing it, of you experiencing it, right? Super powerful. And it's something great to come back to again and again if it's something that you are wanting to manifest or create in your life. Third way to say yes is to lean in. I am such a big proponent of leaning in and taking small actions, baby steps, right? And doing it now, like not saying, okay, I'm going to do this later. It's like, if you want to get the energetic ball rolling, you've got to start taking actions. And I'm going to talk about this a bit more in one of the upcoming videos as well. And just, I think about this in terms of when I moved to Maui. When I moved here, if I had thought about like all the little things that had to happen in order for me to get here, there's no way I would have done it. But leaning in, just taking one action that I was guided to at a time, calling my realtor, finding out, what I could get for my home, starting to pack things up, starting to donate things, get rid of things, like all these little things that I did, right? Just leaning in, taking those little steps led me to this big, amazing dream, right? Okay. So the yes and is a little bit different concept, particularly when you are in resistance about something. So I want to give you a couple examples to try. First, example, someone invites you to an event. Okay. So it might be your tendency to say no automatically, right? Because it's just like, oh, another thing on my schedule. Like, I don't want to do this, da, da, da. You might just be in that space of saying automatically no. But instead, how about saying yes? That sounds amazing. So actually use that word, yes. Yes, that sounds amazing. And so here's the and I'll feel into it to see if this is aligned for me right now, or if my schedule is open. Let me get back to you. Right? So this honors that invitation and the person that's asking, right? It's really and it creates more of a connection with that person, right? That's one example. Second example, let's say an idea is pitched to you that you're not fully on board with, whether this is at work or someone has an idea of something that you are going to have for dinner or you're going to do together. You could say, yes, that's a great suggestion. So again, using that word, yes. Yes, that's a great suggestion. And here's the and. I have another idea to add to it. Or what about if we do that and then do this afterwards? Again, you're honoring the suggestion and then also adding something to it with the and. And so that's a really powerful way to use yes and. Okay. So moving on, saying yes to big things is kind of a different saying yes to little things like going to an event, local event, that type of thing, but saying yes to big things is a little bit different. And how do you know if it's a yes for you? Saying yes isn't about agreeing to everything, certainly, especially when it doesn't feel right, it doesn't resonate with you, or maybe could be detrimental to you in some way. So you want to use your discernment. You want to use your intuition. And I often muscle test for things, particularly bigger things that I'm doing, even on dates. Like when I'm trying to choose a date for things like these videos, I check in obviously with the Chinese zodiac and the dates there for me personally, but then I also often will do muscle testing. I also encourage you to ask your angels and guides for a sign. So if it's something big and it's something that you're really feeling drawn to, ask your angels for a sign about that, about whether you are meant to do that at this time. So feel into it. What does it feel like in your body to say yes? Right? So oftentimes what I'll do is I'll just close my eyes and I'll just feel into it, like, oh, what does that feel like? What does doing that feel like? Are you excited? Are you curious? Are you kind of nervous, excited? Sometimes that can be the case where you're a little bit nervous, but you also could be excited about it. Do you have goosebumps or angel bumps, or what we call here in Hawaii, chicken skin? That's always a sign that something resonates with your soul, that it's right and true for yourself, or potentially for others if you're listening to someone else share something. And do you know, maybe you just know it's right. I think about my client Jean, who when I did my first retreat back in 2019 here on Maui, she didn't even know anything about what it was going to be about or anything like that. She's just like, sign me up. she just knew, right? She just knew, she knew me, of course. She had worked with me for quite a while, and she knew the kind of things that I do, and she knew that she was meant to be there. And it really shifted as much as a path she was on, it really shifted things, put things in high gear for her after that as well. So she just knew it was right. Okay. What about if it's something scary or something brand new to you? Like you've never done it before, like, do it with others. That's a really good thing. Like when the first example I gave, the gal from Wisconsin, she was coming here to retreat and knew that there were going to be a group of other women that were going to be here with her, right? So do it with others. Another way to do something, if it's brand new or a little bit scary to you, is make it fun, right? Celebrate it, dress up, do something to make it fun. Okay. So I want you guys to try something. For one day, try saying yes and to everything. Allow yourself to flow with what's being brought to you. And I encourage you to share in my Facebook group. That's the Find Your Flow with Feng Shui and Angels. There's a link to it below. Share what happens when you do this for one day. So that's your challenge, your assignment, if you will, for today, is to try saying yes and to everything for one day. Okay. So here's your first opportunity to say yes. Join me for a free playfulness workshop. It's going to be live on Tuesday, August 30th. Sorry, no recording for this one. But in this event, it's going to be really fun, really interactive. We're going to be looking at the 5 improv lessons that can create more fun and flow in your life. So I'm giving you a few little things here in these videos, but I'm going to share more in this playfulness workshop. We are also going to be playing with simple and silly exercises to give your mind a spa day, right? How nice would that be? Get you out of your head, get you tapped into creativity, all of that good stuff. And then we're also going to be exploring one option for creating a more playful, joy-filled, and fulfilling life. So there's a link below to register for that event. Space is limited. Go ahead and register now for that. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to get notified when I post new videos. Again, this is the first in a series of 3 videos that I'm sharing with you, help uncover the 3 biggest blocks to flow and fun in your life. I will see you on the next video. So much love and aloha.